When is the last time you've learned something or tried something new? Recently, I've realized that as adults, we don't really try to learn new things or seek out new experiences anymore compared to when we were a child, when we were in school, where there were people that were pushing us to learn new things, to expand our minds, and just to experience new things. Because that's our job as kids. Our job is to learn. But I think learning and trying new things is something that we should adopt as a lifelong exercise. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because recently I realized that throughout my life, in different stages, I have somehow ended up picking up new hobbies or just trying random stuff. And for example, a couple of years ago, I was learning martial arts and I loved it. And then last year, I moved to Melbourne alone, and in that process, started picking up learning dance. And all of these things, I wouldn't really have thought that I would pick up, even just a couple of years ago. But I think subconsciously, I've always tried to seek out all these different experiences. And even though it's scary, it's really scary to show up to a class where you don't know anything about and you don't know anyone, and you have a very high chance of embarrassing yourself, especially if it's a physical activity. But that never really was a big enough deterrence for me to not do it. Because I think ultimately I've realized, thankfully at an early age, that despite how confronting some new experiences might feel, after you just do it, after you just try it, you might find that you actually love it and you actually want to keep doing it despite not being good at it at all. And there's something really interesting about just doing something that you know you suck at, but you really want to get better at it because for whatever reason, you like the process of doing it. And I'm not sure if that's relatable, but that's just what I've felt that, yeah, even just anything like swimming. I don't really know how to swim, and I still don't, I'm not really good at swimming, but a couple of years ago, I've just decided it's time to learn. And in the process of learning how to swim, like I think it's the process of learning that I feel like there's something about it that just expands your mind, and you feel like your body is gaining this new skill and new ability. And I think that is what really draws me to learning new things and trying new experiences. And I think because that allows me to feel like I'm more involved in the world, that I'm more alive, that new experiences allows me to connect with more people, because ultimately everyone lives through a different experience. And I feel like the more you can understand a different perspective through just trying new things and talking to new people and learning new things, that expands your mind, and that expansion ultimately will help you throughout life, even in ways that you would have never imagined. There's no correlation whatsoever between the two things, but somehow those skills and lessons and chats and just things you see are gonna loop back at some point in the future. And you realize at that point that you're thankful that you've tried these new things and you've broke out of your comfort zone to try these things, because you realize later on that they are what made you who you are, and they are the reason why you got to the place where you want to be. And I feel like everyone is a work in progress, and in order to grow and keep growing as a person and become a better person and grow your career and relationships, everything in your life, you have to have an open mind to just be uncomfortable and just be open to learning and be bad at something, be really bad at something, and eventually, if you stick to it long enough because you like that thing, then I don't think there's any reason why you won't be good at it. Like, I think if you're learning something you're passionate about, if you're experiencing things that makes you feel alive, I think that's what we are here for. That's why I think humans are built for learning and expansion, where our minds are so intricate that we have to exercise it in whatever ways. And it doesn't have to be something massive. It just needs to be something small that is not the same thing that you feel like you're stuck in a loop. Because I feel like what people struggle with in terms of being happy is that if they're too settled in their daily routines, they don't really break out of that loop of a routine at all, and everything just starts becoming the same. And maybe some people are fine with it, and that's great, but I feel like most people at any level, different levels, everyone requires a certain sense of being alive. I know it sounds weird to say that, but for me, if I'm stuck in a loop for too long and I'm doing the same things, the exact same routine for too long, then I'll feel like I'm just in a loop. I'm living in a loop, and I'm not growing as a person. I feel like my life is a flat line. And when I just learn something or I try something new, even something small, that by itself will just make me feel like I can just feel my mind and my body just absorbing the world more. And there's something about that just keeps me going. And basically, I think what I'm trying to say is we should all be open and actively be conscious about pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone and go and try something that you've never tried before. Because it's those experiences that will inform you what you like or dislike, and what you actually want in your life and what you don't want in your life. And everything in between as well, because it's not just black and white, right? And it's so important to just try new things, especially in your 20s, your early 20s, because it's such a formative part of our lives that, and we have the freedom to explore at that stage of life. That is really important to do that, because as our identity are forming, in order to understand who we really are and our preferences and our nuances, we have to try new things and learn new things, because you don't know what you don't know. And it's only through doing, and it's only through experiencing and trying that your body, your heart will tell you if something's right for you or not. And it's those information that is going to help you so much when you're older and when you have to make decisions later on in your life. You know what's going to lead you to a place you want to be and what's not the thing that will improve your life. And you should probably give less time to it. So, yeah, I guess the moral of my story is just to learn, keep learning, never stop, and go outside of your comfort zone. Expand your mind, expand your world, even if it's uncomfortable, because it will be very uncomfortable. But just trust that you need it in order to grow into the version of yourself that you want to be and just become a better person. So yeah, that's day 2 of me talking randomly. So bye.